Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to do something a little different, a quick and friendly health quiz. We'll be covering some really important topics like HIV, AIDS, and substance use, where getting the facts straight is so important. This is our chance to see what we know and learn together. So here's how it's going to work. It's super simple. I'll pop a question up on the screen, give you about 5 seconds to think it over, and then we'll dive into the answer. The goal here isn't to get a perfect score, but to walk away knowing a little more than when we started. Ready? Let's jump right in. All right, let's kick things off with part 1, facts about HIV and AIDS. Our very first question tackles something that can often be a little confusing. Okay, first question up. What is the difference between HIV and AIDS? It's a really important distinction, so take a second to think about it. So here's the key. HIV is the virus itself. That's the human immunodeficiency virus. It's the thing that attacks your immune system. AIDS, on the other hand, is the condition or syndrome that can develop later on if the HIV virus isn't treated. Think of HIV as the cause, and AIDS as the potential serious effect on the road. Okay, so building on that last question, what specifically happens to the body's immune system when a person develops AIDS? Basically, the immune system gets so weakened that it just can't do its job anymore. It becomes unable to fight off all sorts of illnesses and infections that a healthy immune system would normally handle no problem. This is what makes the condition so serious and why treating HIV early is absolutely crucial. All right, next up, knowing how HIV is transmitted is the key to preventing it. So, can you name 2 ways HIV is spread? The main ways are through specific body fluids like blood or through sexual contact. It can also be passed from a mother to her baby. So if you said any 2 of those, you are spot on. It's also really important to know how it's not spread. You can't get it from things like hugging, sharing a glass, or a toilet seat. You're doing great. Now let's switch gears and move into part 2 of our quiz. This one is all about understanding substance use. Okay, for this section, let's start with a really basic but important definition. So, what are drugs? At the most basic level, drugs are just substances that change how your body and your brain work. And because of that, they can be dangerous, especially if they're misused. This is a really broad category, from medicine a doctor gives you to things that are illegal. Okay, thinking along those lines, can you name 2 substances that are perfectly legal for some people but have age restrictions on them? Yep, you probably guessed this one pretty quickly. The 2 big ones are tobacco and alcohol. They're legal for adults, but there are strict age limits because they can be especially harmful to younger people whose bodies and brains are still developing. This brings us to a really important and often misunderstood topic. What does it actually mean to be addicted to a substance? In a nutshell, addiction is when you lose control. It means you can't stop using a substance, even when you want to and even when it's causing serious problems. That feeling of not being able to stop can be physical, emotional, or both. It's a powerful thing. Let's think about a specific situation. In sports, why is it considered both unfair and harmful for athletes to use drugs as performance enhancers? Well, there are 2 huge problems here. First, it's just plain cheating. It gives an unfair advantage and ruins the spirit of the competition. But even more importantly, it's incredibly dangerous. These substances can cause serious, long-term harm to an athlete's body. It's just not worth the risk. All right, we're almost at the end of our quiz. For our last question, can you name 2 illegal drugs? Some common examples here are drugs like ecstasy, cocaine, or heroin. Any 2 from that list would be correct. These are made illegal because they have a very high potential for addiction and can cause severe damage to a person's health and life. And that really brings us to the whole point of this quiz. Your health is so important, and knowledge is one of the most powerful tools you have to protect it. Understanding these facts helps you, and all of us, make smarter, healthier choices. So as we wrap up, I want you to think about this for a second. What's one important fact that you'll remember from today? Whatever it is, hold on to it, because that's the knowledge that can really make a difference. Thanks so much for joining me and testing your knowledge today. Stay curious.